We're back. We're back. It was some crazy shit went on this weekend. Somewhere around the world. Hitting these people all under their gloves. Sliding under the legs. Popping their heads. People round kick. What? 1, 2, 3. That's what the judge said. Hey, we back. We back. We back, guys. I hope everybody had a blessed week. Welcome to the Raw, the Me and the Lump show. I told y'all we was going to have some special guests in the house, and we're going to get right to it because we do have a special guest in the house. But I'll let the lady introduce the lady. Hi, Mimi.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just happy to have another lady on this show with me today, and I want to introduce Miss Mihaela. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Are we doing good?
We're doing good.
Welcome. Welcome.
Now, I want everybody to know that Mihaela, excuse me, she and I have been fighting, and she's been a point fighter. She's a black belt. I don't want to give you too much of her background because I want to bring her on to let us know how she started, of course, in martial arts, where she started point fighting, and then how she's elevated herself because we have a MMA world champion also in the house with us tonight.
And a true NBL world champion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. So tell us a little bit how you started and where you're from and how everything has come about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started martial arts when I was 4 years old. Parents put me in it for self-defense. It was just something that was supposed to be just for self-defense, never for sport. Got roped up into my first karate tournament. Loved the environment, loved the people, loved the atmosphere, and ran with it from there and got into doing NBL and following the circuit. And that was just his own little history by itself that just, I loved it.
Amazing.
Made the best friendships.
Yes.
A whole bit. I grew up doing Kajikema when I was a little kid. It's the first style I ever started with. Switched over at about 12 years old to a style called Wu Dao with Team Ezra and Leo Hoff. So I switched over to that. That's what I have my 4-3 black belt in.
Okay.
He was also my coach for all my titles that I won and all of those things like that.
He's always stood across from me. I've never had him behind me as far as coaching. So yes, ma'am. I know he's a great coach.
Yep. And then I switched over. The priority was always college. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get a degree fighting. There's a chance it's not going to obviously last forever, especially moving into full contact. And I was interested in MMA. It's bigger out here or out in the Northwest. MMA is way, way bigger than kickboxing.
Yes,
so I got into that. I was like, let's just try full contact. I want to be the best martial artist I can be, learn the grappling game, keep advancing. It's absolutely what I love the most. And then just kept going from there. I've hunted for kickboxing fights here and there because it's more of like point fighting, just full contact, not having to hold anything back.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, so that's kind of like a brief history there.
Yes, ma'am. That's it. And so from that point, tell me how many point fighting world titles you have specifically in NBL.
Continuous too.
Continuous.
With continuous and point fighting, I have 22.
Wow. Absolutely.
KO. That's what I'm talking about. Damn.
Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
being a champion is something that you're used to. So I can dig it. I understand. Now, from point fighting and continuous fighting, how did you make that switch? What made you make that switch into MMA?
I love point fighting, but I'm always searching for that challenge, like what's next. And what's next was full contact. It was like, let's try something new. Let's really push the uncomfortability in training. I mean, it's a very different mentality to be like, somebody's going to literally try to take your head off in front of you. Cardio is a little different because it's not point fighting cardio is its own cardio, but
yes, ma'am.
These last a little bit longer. It's so much more happening, and the breathing changes so much in between grappling, clinching, just jumping around the ring. It's very different. But it just was what was next.
That's
and
what
full contact to me for what was it. That's what was next.
And that's great. And what type of league did you reach, or did you enter? Was it something that they found you, you found them? How did that happen?
There's a really big fighting federation in Portland, Oregon,
Okay.
for MMA, and it's FCFF. And we had a couple friends. Logan Versosa fought in it.
Okay.
One
I
of
know.
the Somebody else who came from sport karate.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's I went and watched it, and I was like, man, this would be like, the crowd is kind of rowdy, but it's kind of cool at the same time. It's local, so all my family could be there. So I just submitted a fighter application, and they were interested fairly quickly. I got a quick match up, did my first fight camp, and ran into that first fight, and was hungry for the next one, and got a fight literally 3 months after that.
Wow. That's awesome. And did they need to know your history? Did you have to do any type of and when I say interview, did you have to send them any type of tapes of you having some type of MMA background or anything like that?
Yeah, so I had to fill out in the application, I had to talk about my credentials, and then I had to put all my social media on there, which a lot of it has all my sport karate stuff because it's what I've done for so long.
Correct.
Um, Getting my first fight, they were just more apt of being like, okay, we have this up and coming person. We're going to have you paired against them. When I won that fight, and it was a great first showcase, I got that win in 12 seconds.
Oh wow.
Because of my credentials in sport karate and because of my first showcase in MMA, I got a title bout for my second MMA fight right off the bat.
Wow.
So the sport karate helped out, and that's also what's helped set up me getting the title fight for this kickboxing fight as my kickboxing debut.
Right. Okay. I understand that. Now, when you say your point fighting help, do you notice a difference between each fighter, whether they have some type of point fighting versus if they don't at all? Is that a big difference? Because what I see is it us with our footwork, our movement, the side
Mhm.
kicks, things like that. It seems to be a difference when I watch it.
It's one thing I don't notice because of doing sport karate for so long is when people switch their stances.
Okay.
Like, there's kind of a notice, but I'm just so used to it that it's not something I key in on necessarily. Because
Okay.
even in sport karate, I'm not paying attention to what foot is in front. Like, that person has their tools, and it's going to come out regardless from
Regardless.
whatever side.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it's going to come out as quick as it's going to come out, and it's going to snap. So I don't notice it as much in MMA and kickboxing. People's stances at the very beginning really threw me off because they some people go a little bit in like a walking squared off stance.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't fought somebody who actually bounces sideways yet,
Right. I
so
I
it's
can see it.
weird. It's odd.
I can see that they're a little bit more that flat-footed, or
Yeah,
sometimes when I see it, it's more of that street fighting stance.
yeah.
There's the martial arts and the structure to it, but the way they kind of come in, it's just a little bit different, and that's why I think sidekicks, things like that, would work a little bit better with them and
Hmm.
for them. With your point fighting, do you use like basic sidekicks and things like that, or is it just strictly MMA for you and takedowns?
I definitely, it's taken now until this fight for me to be like, okay, fighting in that stance and utilizing my sidekicks and utilizing, not just thinking it's a jab cross, but thinking, okay, a back fist is legal too. So if a back fist comes out, it just comes out and it's gonna have some snap to it. But I really struggled with that switch of trying to find that happy medium and finding that blend. So I
Okay.
almost went to the extreme of more having that squared off stance because it's how we did bag work and things like that.
Mhm.
This fight, I finally was able to I threw a reverse kick, which I've never even thrown, a lead leg reverse kick. I've never thrown that once in sport karate at
Really?
all.
Okay. I don't think
And
I've ever
I,
seen you throw one before.
no, never. And it had intent, and I was like, that was weird. Like, I saw an opening, and she was getting ready for that side kick, and I was going to just change direction, and I caught her with my heel, and I was like, it shocked me for a minute. But
Well, that's
I
good.
think I think now I found that happy medium of utilizing that straight line technique. I mean, if it hits somebody in the arms, that heel is still driving in, and it hurts.
Right. Believe me, I understand. Anything you throw is gonna hurt. Believe me, I know. I felt it. I get it.
I saw it.
He was there. He was there. He
I
remembers.
witnessed it.
Absolutely. Now, with your trainers, I know you brought up Leo, who's your instructor. When you moved into MMA, did you have to find a whole group of new trainers? If you did, or however you did, were they someone that you already had in your circle, or did you have to go out and kind of recruit those type of people?
Yeah, so for my first three MMA fights, I Leo was my coach. I'm no longer affiliated with Team Ezra, and
Okay.
Leo as my coach. So I do have different corner people now.
Okay.
I have for this fight, I had my fiance, who's my personal trainer and my nutritionist, my literally one of my sole sparring partners, holds my
Okay.
mitts the whole bit. He was in my corner.
In-house.
From
I like it. That's
Yeah,
in-house.
very, very. And then my dad was in my corner for my
Nice.
kickboxing fight, just because he knows he watched me grow up doing sport martial arts, so he knows me in the aspect of me on my feet.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I,
So he completely is just, granted, he was very quiet. I think he was a little in shock in this fight, but he did a great job.
right.
But for MMA, I did have to reach out for help with jujitsu, obviously with grappling, because that is not my strong suit.
Not for a
It's
point
fun,
fighter. Not
Right.
for a point
She
fighter.
looked like she enjoys it though.
right?
She enjoys choking
Absolutely.
somebody's ass out.
Absolutely.
Oh, I loved the moment I got a white belt and I put it around my waist. I was stoked. I felt like that little kid who started martial arts for the first time, walked
All
into a
over again.
stool. Like, yeah, like it makes my heart so happy because it's so different. Like I
Right.
have the joy to be able to put on my black belt, but to get to put on a white belt and literally learn all the basics, how it works, the whys. Oh, it's absolutely my favorite part about
I
it.
can imagine you seem like you're shining right now just talking about it. Now, when you say it was a when you started the MMA, tell me what was the hardest thing for you to learn or transfer to, and what was the easiest thing when it came to the ground fighting, the grappling, and things like that.
Easiest was having the experience of how to keep myself safe.
Okay.
So where to put my head, where to. It was more so keep your head safe because everywhere else I was like, those places can take a little bit more damage, but where
Yes,
can
ma'am.
I put my head to at least keep me safe in an uncomfortable situation? The things that are clicking the fastest are positioning.
Okay.
So how can you easily kind of like slide something and thinking of more of like a self-defense aspect of how can I get my hand to essentially be right next to my neck. Hardest part was paying attention to that distance. I'm used to being able to get in, get out. If I'm going to stay in, it's not critical for that us to be so close.
Correct.
Whereas now you're too close, somebody's going to pick you up and dump you on the ground, and then it's a whole different game.
Oh, yes, I can imagine. Oh, I hate ground fighting. I hate all of it. And I'm always the one that's tired and breathing hard. So both of us on the ground breathing the same hot air is like I'm gonna pass out. I just know I am. It's not something I want to do. I've never tried anything outside of Taekwondo stand up fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I've done kickboxing, but jiu-jitsu, I've always kind of been interested in it in general. I just never had the opportunity. I never. Love, have you ever done?
Oh no, ma'am.
You're a stand up
I'm scared to wrestle with another person.
wrestle. Do you see him? He's a wrestle. I bet she could take.
I know. I'm sure she can. I watch her hit you. I don't want to be hit by Mihaela.
Oh
I tell
yes,
you that much.
yes,
But I
yes,
had warned you already, though. I
yes.
warned you she was gonna hit you.
Absolutely. Which time were you talking about when we were in Virginia or in New
Virginia,
Orleans? New
Virginia,
Orleans.
Virginia when she hit you, and then
New
once
Orleans when
New
she
Orleans she made you act a fool. I just wanted to go
I
to the
didn't. I
restroom.
lost my mentality. It was like I couldn't focus. Certain times when I fight certain people, I'm able, no matter what, to stay focused, to stay zoned in. But then there are times when certain fighters and certain people, it's like I'm all over the place. And you've done that to me a few times, and he's walked away. It's like I can't coach her anymore. She's just all over the place. Yes, I am. I'm all over the place. Yes, I get it. I get it. One other question. As far as with the league that you are competing in and you're doing, I know that you won a world title. You had a fight last night.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your opponent and tell us how you got ready for this fight.
I My camp essentially watches people's videos for me. There wasn't a lot on this girl at all. And
Okay.
I am an advocate because of doing sport karate that I focus on me and my tools because I mean, I grew up having every single person be completely different from one another. So I couldn't ever be prepared for one person if I were to focus on just them. So I'm an
Correct.
advocate for focusing on me and my game plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Um,
I love it.
so getting ready, it was one, I had shoulder surgery 8 months ago. So I needed to rehab my shoulder. I said this time, this go around for social media, I wasn't big on it. I stuck my head down and I was going to put the work in. I wanted my techniques to be strong. I wanted to be in a good mental headspace. This year has been a lot. Um, so I just took the time to put the work in, really focused on the basics. It didn't matter how long I stood there throwing a straight punch. It was gonna be a crisp punch.
Right.
Um,
Good.
but my opponent, probably the nicest opponent I've ever had. She made me
Oh,
feel like I was at a karate tournament. She came over, we shook hands, gave each other a hug, talked about where we were from, and I'm like, I love this environment.
gotcha. It's not necessarily we're at war, we hate each other. It's friendly
Right.
competition.
Yes.
Want to come out on top, but it doesn't mean that this is the way we are outside of the ring.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And was she experienced? I know she had the title, of course.
Hmm.
Um, how long does she have the title, and what did she have to do to get to you as far as her road?
Yeah, so she's from Canada.
Okay.
She's the number one, I think they said last night, the number one WBC Muay Thai person up in Canada. So
Okay.
she was 6-0 in Muay Thai fighting. So
Okay.
that was where she got this title bout. She got the title. She traveled to Indiana or something, and somebody backed out of the fight. Literally, when they went to go up, that moment, the person backed out. So
Oh
she
my.
just went up, got the belt. So I was the actual fight she got to fight for
Okay.
a title, but hers was in Muay Thai. This one, we met in the middle and went with kickboxing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Hmm.
So there wasn't a lot of ground fighting then if you guys went straight kickboxing.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And can you give us a little bit of a detail of the difference between the kickboxing and the Muay Thai?
I don't know a whole lot about Muay Thai other
Okay.
than they do a lot more clinch work, and it's a
Okay.
lot more about balance and because it has a different pace. I mean, they're trying to knock somebody off balance, have those clean shots. So the rules are a little different
Okay.
than in kickboxing. In kickboxing, we only have 5 seconds to clinch, and that's it. And then
Okay.
they break you apart. Like you don't get to do much clinch work at all. Um, and with kickboxing, they don't allow elbows. So if I would have done Muay Thai, elbows would have been legal.
Gotcha.
Ah.
And also, don't they in Muay Thai they throw the knees? You can throw
Yes.
the leg kicks. Correct. Okay. See, I
Yeah,
don't
and
like
we
those
can throw
either.
knees in kickboxing,
Okay.
but you can't throw them as amateurs. You can't throw knees to the head. So MMA is different because you can grab somebody in MMA, knee them in the head. As
Mm.
amateurs, Muay Thai, I'm not sure if that's different or if it's the same in
Gotcha.
kickboxing in the state of
I
Oregon.
don't know much about it myself, so I
Right.
can't. I can't do much. I can't comment on it at all. Okay. And you said earlier you had surgery on your shoulder.
Hmm.
Was that from one of your MMA fights? Was that from a previous injury? How did that happen?
So we were training back in May last year, and I was helping somebody else get ready for a fight. And during one of the rounds, I was getting put in a guillotine. And as the defense, you're supposed to take the no, opposite arm, and you wrap it around their back. And I kind of made a push down, pull in motion. And I dislocated my shoulder. So
Yeah.
I had a bang cart repair, but the MRI was great because they said that I have great shoulders, my joints look great, everything. So I was like, that's good.
Because you're a girl, super girl. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Superwoman. That's it. I get it. Well, that's great. I can dig it. I like it. I've been seeing a lot of the like karate combat and things like that, even with the UFC and things like that. Are you interested once you are finished here, or will you felt like you've done what you needed to do in this circuit or this league? Are you wanting to move to the next level?
I would love to. That's like that 4-year-old cherry on top goal. It was originally, I was like, I want to get my black belt. I wanted to get my NBL titles. For example, I watched you, all of me growing up.
Oh,
So,
I
I
know.
mean, I
I
was
remember
like,
we have some pictures when you were just a little one, and we took some pictures when you were a girl, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so old, but I remember that. I definitely remember it.
yeah. And so for me now, it's like, what's that cherry on top? And having a professional contract, doing what I love, which is martial arts, whether it's kickboxing, MMA, whatever it might be, like that's the cherry on top for martial arts. And then the goals just keep going from there.
And now, do you have like a timetable, or is it just kind of go with the flow and see what happens, or do you actually have a 1 or 2 or 3 year plan as far as where you want to be?
Currently, it's just going with the flow. I have really got to that point where just saying by God's plan, things are going to be the way that they're going to be. And I'm just going to follow that because his timing, he's always right on time. It's never too early and never too late. And just following that.
Absolutely. My brother and these buttons, you got to excuse him really because he loves his buttons, but he's on point with them. He's definitely on point. Um, so as far as your next level, when you say you want to take it to the next level, does that next level consist of maybe you having like your own karate school, training other people or other females or students or anything like that? Or is it just you, once you finish this, it's kind of you moving on to the side? What are your plans after that?
I don't think I could ever walk away from martial arts. I would love to teach. I love teaching little kids specifically the most. So, I mean, I think it's forever always going to be a part of my life because it was such a big impact on me and my upbringing and growing up, and it created so much discipline and everything in my life. So,
Yes,
I'm a
ma'am.
super advocate for it.
I absolutely understand and I totally get it. It's my passion and I can never truly be done with karate, whether I'm fighting or not. I'm just always going to be a part of karate some way, somehow.
Mhm.
I totally get it. I get it. Any questions, brother, you want to
Oh
ask?
no, man. I'm listening. You got some good questions. You got some hell of a great answers. I tell you that much.
Absolutely. Well, okay, we've talked about karate. This is not like kind of structured anything. Tell us, you did mention school, college, and things like that. And of course, school is more important than a lot of things, and especially when it comes to karate, tournament fighting, MMA fighting. We don't make what we would like to make, like a NBA player or NFL player, and we do it
Mhm.
because we love it. It's our passion. Um, Tell me about school and tell me, because it's not easy to do and I know it. Tell me how you found the balance to be able to do the school and oh well, let me retract that a little bit. First tell us what you're majoring in. What are you going to school for?
So I did graduate. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in human resource management and a minor in communications. The minor was just because I was already taking the classes, so might as well just put a little credential next to
Yes,
it.
ma'am. It's like the gravy on top of the rice. I get it.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. But I did get a focus of human resource management.
Awesome. Okay. All right. And then just tell me about how you found that balance. What was it? Was it easy? Was it hard? Was it something you had to focus on? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm not sure if I ever found a healthy balance during that. I worked full time while training, while doing school, and I refused to take less credits. Like I was convinced that I was going to do it all on time. I was going to manage it no matter what it took. Like I was just adamant about it. So I'm not sure if that's necessarily the healthiest balance,
Yes, ma'am.
but I just knew I could tackle it, and I knew once school was over and that checkbox was there, I knew it was just focusing on growing in a career choice and a career path, and then having the balance with martial arts then. And I knew it would be different and easier to balance once college was over. But I don't think I ever figured out a good balance. I just think
A
I
good balance.
hunkered down and did it.
Gotcha. I understood. And that's black belt mentality. If you want something, it's always worth working for it. And then it
Yeah.
means much more to you. I get it. I totally understand. Come on, brother. Help me out.
Oh, I'm listening. You
You
know, it's, it's the M&M show right now. This is the
Oh, now
M&M show. I'm
you wanted
listening.
to make it about our show now.
No, I'm listening to the questions. You ask good questions.
Well,
You know,
maybe I'm
mine
out.
mine would be like towards the end. You know, like what would you tell some of the young ladies out here who's thinking about going this path or thinking about quitting because it's not working out for them? What would be some of the things you'll tell them and the competitors? Period, really. But
There you go.
we have a lot of now. We have a lot of young ladies starting to get into the martial arts, especially some of the tournaments I see. It's packed, and there's a lot of gifted young ladies out there. And then you also have some ones that work hard, but you have some that when they get to that spot, it's kind of their maybe fall off or fade away. What would be some of the things you would tell them to keep them motivated and striving?
Yeah, I would tell them to, when you ever kind of hit that bump on the road where you're doubting if you have as much love for martial arts and competing as you did maybe a month ago, just to kind of sit back and reflect on your journey and the things that you love most about it. Because I get that. Like, I went through a point that I was like, man, do I really want to keep fighting, or do I just want to focus on something else? But reminding myself what I love about it, the people. I mean, I miss going to Super Grands and I miss tournaments. I just
Absolutely.
want to go to a tournament because I miss my karate family so much. But
Yes, I get it.
it's the push and it's the drive and the things that I love about it, and growing as an individual and growing in an aspect of my life that is absolutely a huge part of me in general. I just recommend that people reflect on that before stepping away, because I think it's good to sit back and be like, what do I love? How can I love this again? And that's why I made that jump. I was like, man, I'm going to go to full contact, because for a second I was like, do I love it as much as I did? And it was just the challenge that I wanted. I'm like, I want to keep loving and learning more about martial arts, even if it was other styles, no matter what it was. I just want to learn everything that has to do with everything. I 100% nerd out on martial arts every day.
Right, just being a part of it. I get
Yeah,
it.
yep.
I get it. Now, you brought up something about the girls and giving them advice, and it made me think about us and point fighting and how men in point fighting get more recognition. And I mean, in certain sports,
Mhm.
basketball, they get paid more, things like that. When it comes to MMA and being a female fighter, when you entered into the MMA world, was it the same as far as getting the same recognition? Or did you have to kind of pay your dues, or are you still paying your dues? How does that work as far as women getting the recognition they need to in MMA?
I don't think I've noticed it. I do think men get more recognition than women do when it comes to fighting, but it's really weird because people get really hyped in MMA and full contact fighting for women's fights. Like, I mean,
Really?
they get really invested into them. Um, but I also feel like I kind of saw that transition in sport karate a little bit before I was kind of leaving it. People really wanted to watch the women fight,
Right.
which I thought was really cool. I remember, like, sparring with you, people wanted to watch me spar against you. People wanted to watch me spar against Gina Thornton. Like,
Absolutely.
everybody wanted to see these, and people would crowd around to watch women fighting. And in MMA, it's weird. People get really rowdy for women fights. They get really wrapped up into them. Like, they just think they're cool.
It's
So
like
I'm,
a girl fight. They just want to see girls
yeah,
fight. That's what
yeah,
it
pretty
is.
much. And and to say that girls are tough. They want to say that too.
Absolutely. And sometimes some of us girls can beat up some of those guys. So in general,
Yes. Yep.
they want to know is what they want to do.
Yes.
Oh, whatever. A little lightweight over here. Little lightweight. Well, I want to congratulate you again, and I want to thank you for coming on the show and letting us know about everything that you got going on. And I will definitely keep tabs on you.
Yes.
Tell me when is your next fight? Do you have that already in the
I
running
do.
or?
Yep. I have a bantamweight title fight for Arena Wars, which is where I fought. It's the federation I fought for this go around, but this one's going to be for MMA. So I'm fighting for a bantamweight MMA title on May 21st. So
May
6 weeks.
21st. Okay, 6 weeks. Please let us know how we
In
can.
Portland.
Is it in
This one will be in Salem, Oregon. So
Okay.
about an hour
Salem.
away.
All right.
Okay, it's still far from Texas.
All my people out there in Oregon,
Yes.
better go support now. Support
Absolutely.
one of the greatest women point fighters, MMA fighters, kickboxing fighters,
Absolutely. To make that transfer, to move
drop you
from
on your head fighter.
yes, absolutely. More than one time. Don't forget that. More than one time. Hey, I still feel it. I have
Yes.
flashbacks. But I want to thank you again for coming on the show and make sure when it's fight time, let us know how we can kind of log on, and I definitely want to get you back on the show the next time you are able to. Maybe pre-fight,
Absolutely.
so we can get your mentality and kind of get that fight camp idea of what you go through before
Yeah,
time. It would be great to have you on.
absolutely.
It's so great seeing you. Yeah, best wishes. I'm very proud of you. Like I said, watch you come up from a young lady to now a woman who's taking over and really making a market for the women out here in sport karate. Period. Just all
Absolutely.
around karate.
Besides her and like Kobe, those are the only two me personally I can think of right now. I would have to do some other thinking and researching, but they're the two that I can remember in the last few years that have actually went out and actually done the MMA, the ground fighting, the whole martial arts, mixed martial arts thing, compared to point fighting when we were just kicking and punching each other. I get it. I get it. Good deal. Well, congratulations, and you take care of that puppy dog. I think I see him in
I
the back.
will. Yep, we took him with us to the fight. It was kind of, it was good and not. They kind of acted up a little bit, but it's okay.
They're just like children. I understand.
Yes.
I,
Yep.
I understand, but you have a whole big fight team, so your big crowd and your team, they're gonna cheer you on and have your back. That's what's up.
Congratulations to your future husband who is in your fight corner. 'Cause
That's right.
I don't
Yep.
think our lady can be fighting. Our lady can be coming
You
back with no
just don't want to
cuts.
get beat up.
No, forget that. I just don't want to be looking at her bleed,
Oh no,
and I
she's not
can't
gonna
help it.
bleed.
Well, no, I'm just saying, period, and the bruised up any of that. No.
She's that good. She won't.
Oh no, she is definitely that good. But I'm just
Yes,
speaking of women out there in general. I just
it
wouldn't mind
happens.
fighting. Absolutely.
I've been in that
So tell
boat.
them I commend them for that. Hat off to
Good
that.
deal. Good deal. How long have you guys been together?
About 7.5 years.
Oh, awesome. And do we
Yeah.
have a wedding date? I know you said he was your fiance. Do we have a wedding date yet?
So college was the priority. Like life, kind of like there was check boxes. Like we
Yes,
both had to
ma'am.
graduate from college. We both had to get started in our careers, which now we both are pretty much in our career choices now. So now we can start looking for the date, but it's more of like the direction of big wedding, small wedding,
Got you.
trying to figure that out before
A
finding a date.
karate wedding versus an MMA wedding. What kind of wedding? I get it. No, I get it. That's awesome. That's good. And it's great to hear you talk about the way you're planning and
Mhm.
you're doing each one and
Stepping
not saying
goals.
like a stepping stone as far as I
Yes.
want to conquer this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you're staying on track. That's awesome. Sometimes when I set goals, it's not that I don't always succeed those goals, but sometimes I get diverted or I get sidetracked
Hmm.
and I don't always get to those goals the same way I had them planned out. So it's really, really good, and it's cool to hear you say that, and the way we've seen you, well, I've seen you grow up and to see the path that you're taking is pretty cool. Good deal.
Thank you.
No worries. Good job. All right.
Yes. Y'all
What's
stay
up,
safe on
brother?
the road. Nothing.
What's next, brother?
Nothing. You have any other questions you want to ask?
No, not as of now. I asked her all the questions. It's
Okay.
your turn. You're over
No,
here not talking.
I was talking, but I was listening more because I wanted to know more about her background.
Absolutely.
I lived on the West Coast for some years, and I didn't really know of her like that. But to hear, her background and the goals that she got set, and to hear how she's pushing forward and knocking some of the challenges down that she set for herself, and then to also challenge herself. That's why that really
That's
made
it.
me like listen. I couldn't ask no questions because it was like, oh wow, you don't have a lot of people who are willing to challenge themselves at certain things that they know that it's a
Absolutely.
possibility of them, not succeeding.
Absolutely. It was
So
like the more she started talking or the more we started talking, it was like more questions. It was like,
yeah.
wow, it was like more and more and more and more. Do you have any questions for us? Maybe we should ask you guys that.
I can't think of any off the top of my head at this moment. I appreciate both of you a lot. Like I
Oh,
said, I've known you guys for pretty much, like I've known of you guys my whole martial arts career. And you guys were, I mean, Regina, I fell once and I hit my head on a chair and I'll never forget it because when I got up, you were like, listen, you could fight tomorrow. Like you make the smart decision, or you
right.
always tell me about college is important, things like that. So
Yes.
I
I
just
didn't
appreciate you
always follow
guys.
my own advice. People gave me the same advice I was passing on to
Hmm.
you, but I didn't always listen. I have that stubborn mentality, and I said that path. I didn't always take it the right way I should have.
Hmm.
So it wasn't from I'm telling you this is what you should do. It was more of I made the mistake. This is what you shouldn't do. And it's not telling you what to do, it's just some advice. But you have
Yes.
done great on your own. You have absolutely done great. You're a good role model. Good deal.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No worries. All right. Well, we're not going to hold you up anymore. I think Travis is going to come on and click you out in a second. And then Lump and I are going to finish up the
Perfect.
show. I'll definitely send you a message and try to see you in the next couple of weeks, get you back on before your next fight.
Perfect. You got it.
All righty.
Kick ass. Kick ass.
Kick ass.
Thank
That's it.
you.
Girl power. Do it for the point fighters, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay. There we go.
Damn.
All right.
To hear from the champ.
That's it.
The champ.
And to
Ooh-wee.
hear just the positive energy and the smart plan that she had. I don't know if she had it from day one, but the way she kind of wrote it out and followed that plan and the structure, I mean, that is the ultimate meaning and statement of black belt mentality. If you want something, you got to go and work for it. There's a lot of other people that
Of
are out
course.
there that do that same thing, but to actually listen to someone lay out their plan for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it's great. It's amazing.
Of course. Big shout out to Don and Christine Rodriguez. They had the Ocean State this weekend.
Yes, sir.
We are going to give you guys our input details next week. We have not finished watching all these videos, but I'll just tell you what. If you haven't watched, you guys need to go watch. It was some amazing ass fighting starting from Friday to Saturday night.
Absolutely. From the Rudy to the Tootie.
Ooh-wee.
Absolutely.
Cut it at the booty.
Oh, yeah. Yippity.
Yeah, so definitely, I can't wait to finish watching those. Big shout out to Chance Turner, whose event, Syntex Open, next week, Austin, Texas. Look forward to seeing some of you guys out there competing.
Absolutely.
It's going to get live and lit. We almost about the halfway point of the year, and it's been getting good.
And time is going by quickly.
It is. Definitely
it is. It's about to be Easter next week. And then my birthday, your birthday, and then
Mother's Day,
and then Father's Day, and then bam, hurricane season.
Lord, we might keep them away.
Absolutely. We're going to have to move up to Portland. Yes, we're going to go up and watch Mihaela fight, and then we'll be okay.
Give me a little tent. Put it in the backyard.
I'll hold her focus pads. You think she'll let me in?
I wouldn't want to hold those. I'm scared that.
How about I walk the dog? She got I should have asked her the dog's name. I forgot, but I'll walk the dog. We'll be in the same section. We'll do it.
She said they didn't want to act right during the fight time. They wanted their mommy at the moment. What's she finna do? No, mommy, don't go hurt that person. Come back.
You're so silly.
That's your goofy butt.
You are silly.
So what? We almost had playoffs for NBA?
Yes, sir. We actually this week coming up, I think the first play-in game starts like Thursday, Friday. And then the first round starts Saturday or Sunday.
Oh yeah. Big shout out to all the cities who team made it. Big shout out to the cities who team didn't make it. Detroit.
Houston and Detroit did not make it. We did not make it. We're going to be watching the playoffs from the sofa.
Together. All together.
Popping popcorn and cheering for the people that beat us all year long. But it's okay. It really is okay. I want to talk about how the teams are so close.
Of course.
With all the injuries, and I can say injuries from Steph all the way down to like such and such, because there's a lot of high profile people that are hurt. But there are some that are not hurt, that are just sitting out because it's the end of the year and they want to rest before the playoffs. And I see a lot of that talk on Facebook about the players doing that, because we as fans pay a lot of money for those tickets.
Oh, yes.
To go and watch those players. And when we don't get to see them and they're on these primetime slots, it's not fair to us that we're paying all this money. My question to you, Lump, is do you think that the NBA should invoke a rule when it comes to sitting out and there's not a true injury, or you're not hurt, or You're just trying to rest. Should players, let me ask it this way, should players be allowed to sit out and rest before the playoffs start?
I want to say yes. And I say that because just personal life things going on to where you might not get focused that day to be out there playing.
But you make $900 billion.
Oh, yes.
So if you make $900 billion, you should be ready, is my point.
Of course.
And if I pay $200 billion to go and watch you play, you better be playing. And I mean, I'm not saying you should play if you're really hurt. I get that.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's different.
I'm not saying that. Everybody is hurt. You can't play. You can't. I don't want to cost anybody their future or their health. But if you're not hurt, you should be out there playing. Your ass should be running up and down that court, sweating and slinging sweat all over people.
For that check that you're receiving.
$900 billion.
Absolutely. Now, that I agree with.
You think LeBron hurt?
Yes.
What's wrong with him? His neck?
His body, period. Like LeBron, just body, period. Just
all year long, he been dunking on people. Yeah. He been running up and down the court like Speed Racer.
Yes, and be running into the crowds, falling into the people, tripping over the things. I think he just took him a good beating.
I can see that. I definitely can see that. But I also think because they are not in the playoffs.
Yes. Now I
also think that he wants to save himself for his son in a couple years. I think it's 2024-ish when his son is supposed to be a rookie. And he said, and I've only read what it was put out there on Facebook, on the internet, ESPN, that he wants to play with his son. I'm not saying that he's not hurt, but I'm not saying that he should have sat out this long.
Yes.
I think that he just felt like it wasn't worth him coming out there anymore, but he still collected $900 billion
for sure
from us.
For sure.
Not us, because I didn't pay that amount for him. I don't like him. I pay it for someone else.
Whoever went to that Lakers game.
Correct.
You are there to actually see him, AD, Westbrook.
Yes.
That's what you really were paying your money.
John Morant, I do believe he was hurt. He actually played yesterday and he's playing today.
Yes.
So I think his was an injury, but I also think that he came back and he's doing what he's supposed to do because he's electrifying. I love John Morant.
Me too.
Oh, my goodness.
And I've been watching it ever since that buzzer beater shot that he had shot. And
absolutely.
I really now just starting to watch how his game, he's elevating every game.
Absolutely.
Him and his team that he has with him, they're solid.
If he didn't have the injury, I think he'd be in one of the front runners, the top 3 for MVP, because he has taken his team. They are young,
hungry,
yes, and really inexperienced.
Yes,
when it comes to being in that type of environment. And when I say environment, not necessarily playoffs, but to be in the top teams.
Yeah,
when you're at the top, people hunt you. You have to show up every day on a regular, every game, every play, every free throw. And he has done that. And I don't want to say he because it's a team effort. But that entire team, from the starters to the bench players, have been outstanding. They've been in the top 4 to top 5 all season,
including Tyrus Jones, and that was the backup for John Morant when he had the injury.
Yes,
that young man
coming off the bench
didn't even know what the hell he was getting himself into. But
and Jaren Jackson Jr., I love him. He's young. I think he's a little. When I say all over the place, I think that he doesn't know specifically where he wants to dominate. He plays down low, or not down low, but it's somewhat in the post, free throw line and below. He can shoot the 3, but he's just not dominant in all those plays or any of those places. He plays all over the place. And I think if he decides whether I'm going to be a jump shooter or I'm going to pound the ball down low or I'm going to stay outside and be a shooter, I think when he figures that out, he'll be more consistent at that position.
Ooh.
I think so, because I like watching Memphis. They are exciting. It's like when Golden State first came out.
Oh yeah,
it was like, oh, I love watching them. I like watch anybody. I don't have like a favorite team. I just like good teams and I like good games.
Yes, and to see the challenge of these players in these positions to where like you may feel like you number 5 in the position. I may be like, oh, I feel like I'm above you. And now it's a challenge to when we're playing against one another. Like who's that best position player right now? So,
absolutely,
I like it. It's been exciting. It's definitely been exciting.
It is. I got a few more days, and then the playoffs are going to start.
And
I
then we're
can't
gonna
wait.
wipe out. It's gonna be over quick, huh?
What is?
Just playoffs, and then NBA, and then we'll be right back into the NFL.
Well, the NBA the finals will go until June-ish,
So
early
Battle of
June.
Atlanta.
Not that long.
Okay.
I think around the 1st of June, maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th, they should be in the finals.
Okay.
The NBA finals. And then the NFL season doesn't start. I think preseason it is in August, September. It's right before the kids go back to school here.
Okay. Nice.
But that's going to be exciting. During that summer months, we don't really have a lot of sports. I'm not a baseball fan.
I've been becoming one.
I will watch the Astros because they've been good. I don't know much about baseball. I just know that you throw a ball and they're going to swing and hit it. And you got to catch it and get them out before they go score on the base.
That's simple. It's kind of like hockey. You just got to hit the puck into the
goal.
goal.
No, there's some rules.
Oh, yeah. Of course, they all got some rules.
Well, I mean, as far as rules that I don't know, that I don't understand.
Yes.
Because certain things, I only watch like World Series or the playoffs. And they started late this year, so I don't know what their season is going to be like. They just started this week, I think.
And they get about, 100 games?
About 180 or 80, somebody. It's more than basketball and football.
Put together, it sounds like.
Well, football, you'd be a crash test dummy if you played that many games. You really could not play that many
Twice
games.
a week, huh?
Right. You have what do you call it? Concussion protocol. Absolutely not. You would have to have 3 to 4 players in every position that play football more often than you do because, just the impact. Basketball, you can do 2 in one night. I'm sorry, 2 back-to-back games or 3 games back-to-back type thing. And that's just running up and down the court. It's strenuous, but not as strenuous, that full contact as far as
full
football.
Contact. Exactly.
And then baseball, you just swinging a stick.
That's it.
You hit the little white ball like a golf ball, almost. But this one you don't hit it. It's not on the ground.
Yeah.
They're gonna throw it at you.
One's air, one's ground.
Yeah, absolutely. But you still hit the little white ball. In hockey, you hit the little black puck. That's what it is. So, I got it.
So tennis got it easy too, or what do you think of that challenging?
Tennis. Now, see, you're asking me something I don't know much about.
But I know you know some players out there.
Venus and Serena. My bad. I said that's really about it. There's also what's her name? Osaka.
Okay.
Naomi. Yes. I know a few others, but that's only because they are like the high profile, and that's what they show on ESPN. It's not like I watch any of like the U.S. Open tournaments or anything like that. I know a lot of the other sports that they show. Normally, it's on ESPN, and if it's there, I watch ESPN like commercials sometimes, all the time. And this game is on over here out of the corner of my eye, and it's catching.
Because what's the name of them fighting to stay in the playoffs?
I need Kevin Durant to figure out what he's going to do about his hair.
What does it look like?
What do you mean what it looks like? It looks like taco meat that we get off the taco truck.
No, he got a good cut right now. He got a good cut.
We're not looking at the same person.
He got a good cut. Him and Riri got a good cut.
See, you're not a real friend. You would allow him to go out there and continue to have that. See, let's take this conversation real quick, and then we're going to start to sign off real quick. We're going to talk about friends and fake friends. Real friends will not allow you to do things that they wouldn't do.
For sure.
Real friends will always make sure you smile when they smile. Real friends will make sure you're happy and I'm happy. They will make sure they put your needs first, and then you reciprocate it, and then bam, teamwork makes the dream work. Now, if I had a friend, and I'm going to use myself as an example. If I have a friend and I'm walking around and I have crust in my eyes and they can't tell me, or I have a booger hanging out of my nose and they can't tell me, then I don't think you're my friend, because you let me walk around in public with strangers and they looking at me going, ooh, look at a little nasty girl with the booger.
embarrassed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Real friends, if they tell you they're going to do something, they make sure it happens by any means necessary. And when I say any means necessary, it doesn't have to be out of the ordinary. You don't have to go to the extreme, just to make sure that we as a team, as friends, as a group, as as a family, we make each other happy. If I wanted to set up a seminar with you, and I told you that I wanted to give you a discount, and you told me, well, just because you're going to give me a discount, I'm going to make sure I get you a lot more people. I'll make sure that there's more people so you have a bigger quantity, and we make it a more reasonable price, or a more reasonable experience. If I don't hold up my end of the bargain, to me, I'm not being a real friend, especially if I didn't mention it to you or didn't warn you as far as, well, brother, I can't make it. Or brother, there's something came up. If I don't give you a heads up and abide by that contract or that friendship that we have, then I don't think that you are a friend in the same way that I would consider you.
Yes. Okay.
If you ask me or tell me you want me to do something for you, and I tell you, brother, I can do it and I'll make sure it happens, but then I don't do it and I'm not saying a good reason, because emergencies happen, life happens, and you can't always do things for other people. But if I half-ass something that I told you that I would do for you, I can't be a good friend to you, or I can't be a team member as far as your group, because I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. We should always, if you consider yourself family or friends, be able to say anything to each other without hard feelings. And when I say hard feelings, you can say anything you want to me, and I know if you say it and how you say it, I know I need to listen. I know that, oh, well, shit, it must be something I'm not doing correctly. Prime example, me being in my feelings or going through my divorce and things like that, and being in a down position or a down emotion and feeling. You were there. Oh, come on, sis, we're going to do this. Let's go train. Let's go here. We got to go over there. We got to go. You made, or not made, you helped me to stay afloat, to keep me focused, to make sure I understood that no matter what happens, I'm still me. I can still do this. That's a friend. That's a family member. You should not overlook anyone. You should not step over anyone. You should not just be selfish when it comes to being friends. Yes, again, you should be able to tell anybody anything and not be in your feelings. And even if we have an issue, we should be able to work it out. And when I say work it out, truly work it out, get over it, and move on, and not let that mistake happen again. Exactly. Not do it again. If you work it out and you fix it, and that person means something to you, whether it's a friend, a lover, or a family member, or whatever, you don't keep making those same mistakes.
Oh no.
You don't keep doing those same things. And I want to just tell everybody out there in podcast land, I give you 1 to 2 times. The first time, maybe it was we didn't have a clear understanding, because sometimes
might have broke somewhere.
I do it all the time. I have sometimes life, my kids, school, us, and everything else going on. And when it goes on, I get things sidetracked. But that second and that third time, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it to happen, because you know why? I'm going to feel like I'm a doormat and I'm being walked over. I would never do anything to anyone on purpose. If they meant something to me. If I do it to you on purpose, it's because I meant to do it to you on purpose. Yeah. You know, I get it. But,
oh no, I like how you put that. You really broke that down to where friends, like really, really understanding the friends. But the one thing that you said about a friend was, I'm gonna make sure you smile and I smile.
Absolutely.
And you and I travel together all the time, and it wouldn't feel right for me to walk in the event smiling and glowing, and you're walking in there
unhappy and sad,
dark cloud over you type thing. Like, no, I'd rather have that dark cloud over me as well, or I'd rather
absolutely
be pulling you
share through that feeling, that experience.
Yes, exactly.
I understand.
No, and that's just me, and that's just always how I felt about friends. But then just dealing with you guys, the older group, you know, you, Trav, Ski, Mr. Plowd and them, like just to understand real friendships,
Absolutely.
understand the meaning behind it, and what is a real friend there for. If I call you in the middle of the night and tell you I need you, you're not like, oh, what, I got to go to work in a few hours. It's like, I need you. If I'm calling you at this time, I must really, really need you. So I would expect you to be like, what is it? And if you call me, same thing. I'm not going to be like, oh,
make
shit.
it happen.
Yeah, I got to get up in an hour. I got to take my daughter to school.
Right.
Now,
can I come get you now? Can I do this now? Yes. Or can you give me a minute to take her to school? And then it's something that you can figure out to make each other smile, to make each other happy. If I or you call on me, if you call me to ask me something, I know that you actually need me. And that's because you couldn't do it, or you can't do it, or on your own, and you need help. Same thing with me. I am that one to try to fix certain things on my own and by myself. But if I ask for help or say, can you tell me this or do that, truly means that I need it. I need help. I don't understand. I just don't know. And if you can help me, it'd be great. I'm not saying fix it for me.
Yes.
Or do the problem for me or any of that. What I'm saying is help me, guide me, show me. It's that teach me that black belt, white belt thing. Show me how to do it, or show me how to get to the level.
Yes.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
All right. You got any quotes? Ooh, I like how you just put that shit right there.
I actually do. I have a couple.
Oh yeah. Time for the
let me get it. Let me pull it up. Show went by fast today.
Yes. Mihaela had it under control.
It's probably because you weren't talking. You kept your hot breath closed, your mouth shut.
Send that crow back over here.
Beetlejuice. I have two.
Okay.
And kind of goes with what we were talking about with Mihaela, as far as the things she wanted to do and what she was willing to do to work for it and things like that. Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Whoa.
Did you hear me what I said?
Whoa.
Did you hear me what I said? Woo woo. One more again for the good time.
Please get that again.
Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying somewhere you don't belong.
Wow. Y'all heard that? Wow.
Absolutely. And you'll know if you don't belong there. You'll feel uncomfortable. You'll feel like you shouldn't be there. You'll feel out of place. If you ever feel like that, that's not where you belong. Hey. If I'm anywhere where I don't feel comfortable or I feel out of place, I'm out of there.
You already know it.
I'm out of there.
Quick and believable. Birthday parties and all. I'm coming up out the door. Sis, you can stay and enjoy yourself. I'm not feeling this shit.
If you go, I go. You know we stuck at the hip. Everybody says that already. We are stuck at the hip. Okay, I got one more. One more.
Go ahead with it.
The same people who are candy to our eyes can be poison to our hearts.
Ooh.
Study their ingredient before feeding them your soul. One more time for the good time. I stuttered a little bit.
That's all right.
I'm going to read it a little slower so I don't make any mistakes. The same people who are candy to our eyes can be poison to our hearts. Study their ingredient before feeding them your soul.
Wow. That shit is deep, 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 long.
That's it. It's called mental stimulation.
It is. It was stimulating as into vibration at the table. Oh, all right. Of course, I had to go get something from the Rev.
Get it.
The Rev left us one with a few hours ago. He says, when you start bettering yourself, strangers on the internet will support you more than some of your oldest friends.
Yes.
It's funny to see that and read that. When you are starting to better yourself, strangers on the internet, that means the people that's looking at you post about, hey, I lost 20 pounds. Hey, I'm out for here. Yes, I just went and got this light bulb sucked up. Yeah, all this extra stuff. They will support you more than your older friends. So y'all guys just be careful of the circle that you got with you. Because the circle is very, very, very costly in people's lives. They're either going to help you become better or they're going to help you become worse.
They're either going to be for you or against you. Teamwork makes the dream work. If your dream doesn't work, it's because your team not working.
Y'all hear that? Now, last one right here, because I don't want to give y'all too much of his Bible. You know, got to save it for y'all. My goal is to progress, not try to impress. I like that. I really like that
too. I've seen that one before. I like it.
And yeah, that stood out. My goal is to progress. That's definitely my goal. My goal is to become a better person daily, not to impress. I mean, I don't give a fuck about what you think of me or what you see me look like. I'm here for God's mission and my own mission that him and I came up with together.
Absolutely.
In due season.
And don't judge me.
Oh no.
And whether you judge me or not, I hope you judging me correctly.
Well, you just better not have no glass on your brick house. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Cause I'm known to throw a rock or two.
Throw one. I'm gonna walk up to it and punch it. You hear me knocking? Well, let me in.
And I forgot, maybe we were supposed to have what's name, but it's all right. Mihaela came on.
What's that?
The put up or shut up. Because I've been hearing about this put up or shut up shit going on out here on this VFT level. So next week I am gonna pick your brain with the put up or shut up.
Well, then we're gonna put up or shut up.
Yeah, because I'm tired of hearing people talk about it
and not be about it.
Yeah, when it's time to put up, they go shut up.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm waiting to see about this. Maybe we'll be able to get Mr. Kane on.
Well, that means that their mouth is doing more than their capabilities.
Yes, that means your mouth is writing the check that your ass
can't cash.
You're gonna have to cash it.
No, you don't.
Oh, you gonna have to cash it.
You don't have to cash it.
Because the people that's after your ass is wanting that cash.
No, because if they after that ass, I'm going that way. They don't. Not everybody want that check cash.
Okay.
That's why they're not putting up.
Well, hey, I may have to find out so I can try to put up. So I'll be over in the corner with the shut up crew.
Hey, and if they write you a check, don't take it.
Oh no, well, you know me. It's cash. COD.
Cash on delivery.
That's it. If you got me coming, I don't need COD. Coming to your tournament, I needed COD.
That's it.
All right, guys. Big shout out to our sponsors, Virtual Fight Tour.
Indeed.
Martial Arts Internetwork.
Yeah.
CTE.
TP.
Inside the Scoop.
TP.
Karate Movie Day.
TP.
That's Kicks, Flicks, and Tricks.
That's TP. Toilet Paper, Travis Plowden.
And big shout out to Mimi.
Hey, brother.
Oh, what's up? I pray you guys have a blessed week. I look forward to you guys. Stay safe. I'm sure some events is coming up. You guys got anything that you want to give us y'all input on, or feel like we said something wrong? Please us a holla.
Please do. I don't mind constructive criticism.
You can find me on yahoomail.com.
You can find me anywhere you open your eyes and looking for me at. Oh, Lord.
Hey, Mimi. Hey, Mimi. All right, guys, we out. Y'all have a safe one.
All right, have a good week.